want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but, like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and on weekends they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers. And we don't have fair scheduling. Managers don't care about us. Our manager was supposed to come in this weekend, and he took himself off the schedule, so he wouldn't be able to be held accountable for calling out. He just literally tore down the schedule that he was scheduled on and put up a new schedule where he wasn't on the schedule. Also, he couldn't have even seen that he was scheduled in the first place because he didn't want to be held accountable for not wanting to come in. They don't want to help us. We need a union because this can't happen. This can't happen. We need fair scheduling. We need managers to hold themselves accountable for helping their workers. They refuse to turn mobile orders off. We need the liberty to be able to do that because there's so many mobile orders and I need to get through all of them. And then people are yelling at me because I don't have their orders ready and they don't know what to do. And a customer was misgendering me today, like, really badly. I didn't have their order ready. And so they were just, like, talking like each other. And they're like, she's clearly incompetent. I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck? I don't get accommodations for being neurodivergent. I don't... Like, I can't use... Like, people get mad at me for using my sick time. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm, like, at my wit's end with this job. I really am.
Look here, the younger generation is whack. I'm just going to say it. I don't know why it is that the younger generation cannot seem to work 8 hours. And I'm trying to understand, how is 8 hours a problem? For a lot of other people, 8 hours is normal. That's normal. Even at a certain point in time in my life, I used to work 11 to 12 hours, and that was a day. So I'm just trying to figure out, what exactly is there to cry about? You have a job that is pretty decent, it pays, and I'm guessing you have insurance, and you just have to work it. You just have to be there enough times, and over time you'll start to, get into the swing of things, and everything will work out. All of this boo-hooing and crying is ridiculous. You crying due to the fact that somebody was angry that you didn't have their order. Well, that's customer service. You signed up for this. Nobody told you. Like, Starbucks didn't knock on your door like, hey, guess what? You're working at Starbucks today. Get your stuff. You're coming with us in a Starbucks van. Let's go. That's not what they did. That's not what they did. You filled out to work at Starbucks. If you didn't want to work at Starbucks, if you didn't want to work in customer service, then why didn't you take an overnight job or something like that? Why didn't you just take a normal office job? You could have did anything else in the world but work at Starbucks and do customer service. All of this crying and stuff is nonsense. Grown adults have to do 8 hours. That's just is what it is. That just is what it is. like I said before, I don't understand the younger generation now. All of this boo-hooing, all of this crying. I'm stressed out. I'm depressed. I'm this. I'm that. Do you want a job or do you not want a job? Do you want to be able to do some adulting or do you just want to continue to live at home with your parents for the rest of your life? Like I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. No, more than likely you are not going to sit up there and get a union at Starbucks. Everybody else who works at Starbucks, they're working. I noticed that you're in the background, you're talking, right? Everybody else is working. You said that they got 13 people working at the store. When I was working the job that I had, we had a team and we only had 4 people. Sometimes 5. At the most, I think we might have had 7 people. 7 people, that was golden. We would get the job done ahead of schedule and just have hours of free time. But then it was like, all right, well, we're just going to put this back down to like 4 or whatnot or whatever, right? And then in certain instances, we might even have 2 or 3 during that night, and we got to sit up there and break down like 10 to 12 pallets and have that finished before the morning. Like I said before, I don't have sympathy. I just don't. I'm sorry. I lack the amount of understanding here. I really do. I really lack the amount of understanding when it comes into people crying and breaking down on a job like this. Like, it's not like you've been here for like 14 years doing this. You literally just got the job and you not really working it that long. And you're sitting up here breaking down, crying. All of this breaking, this is what I want people to pay attention to, right? If the person, hold on, before I even get there, then the person wanted to throw the manager directly under the bus, be like, oh, well, the manager didn't want to work, the manager didn't want to do this, the manager's not, the manager can do whatever the manager wants to do. The manager does not answer to you. The manager answers to the higher ups. The manager doesn't owe you anything. If the manager wants to switch the schedule, he can switch the schedule because he's the manager. If the manager wants to take himself off the schedule, he can do that because he's the manager. You trying to sit up there and act like the manager owes you something, the manager should be. The manager don't got to do nothing because the manager doesn't answer to you. You answer to the manager. Like I said, a lot of people got stuff mixed up. If you feel like people should be, responding to you, then you need to sit up there and start up your own business. You need to work for yourself from home, start up something. Like I said, you listing all of this stuff. Oh, I'm a student, I'm this, I'm that. And you got people that's working the same job you working, and they got 2, 3, or 4 kids. They got a whole family at home. That's way more pressure and work than you just doing this job and sitting up there going to college. You got an easy life. You don't have no other responsibilities. But you break it down crying as if life is oh so hard. It's not. Because it's the main thing that I want people to understand. The reason why this individual is breaking down is not because of the job. It's because of personal things, right, that the individual is going through. That's what it is. At the core of all of that, that's what it is. It's a fight with self. It ain't the job. The job can probably be added on to that. Some of the things going on to the job can be added on to that. But to try to say that the job is everything, nah, son. Nah. Because if it was a job, the person speaking would have quit. If it was realistically just a job and it was causing this much stress, they would have quit. But yet they didn't quit. They still there. They at the job in the background talking while everybody else is working. Look at that. Look at that. Interesting. Like I said, I'm not with all of these tears. I don't got time for this. Because it's either you're going to work or you're not going to work. It's either you're going to work for somebody else or you're going to start up your own business. Like I said before, you got choices. The choice has obviously been made and is still being made, by proof of which the person is still in the back room making a TikTok or IG, whatever this is, and deciding to cry about it. Like I said, if this is really that stressful for you, quit the job and go find another one and still do your schooling. So that way you can find some type of balance or some type of happiness. You doing this on social media thinking that you're gonna green light some stuff, it ain't happening like that. That's not how it works. And more than likely, a lot of those people that's working at that Starbucks, they not about to co-sign with you because they ain't trying to lose their job like you are. And this is the last thing I want to leave off with. I'm not sure if people realistically understand. Like I said, I'm looking at the future. A lot of people ain't paying attention to the stuff and the moves that is being made at this moment in time. A lot of things is going to robotics. A lot of things is going to being self-automated, right? Which means that you're not going to need people to do these jobs. So like I said, the more and more that a lot of y'all out here want to be complaining and crying online and all this other type of stuff about your job, you ain't about to have those jobs. Because they're going to be like, you know what? We don't got time for the bad press. We don't got time for all the negativity. We don't even really want to pay y'all anyway. We're just doing it because we have to. They're going to start cutting out a lot of human beings, and they're going to program robots in order to do the simple, mediocre task that we do every single day for a job. Like I said before, when a lot of these things are implemented, I'm going to sit here and remind people, you brought it on yourselves because you wanted to sit up here and complain. You wanted to sit up here and say what jobs you are going to do and what jobs you're not going to do. You wanted to sit up here and complain about the pay and unfair treatment and all these other types of things. So it's going to get to a point you're not going to have to worry about complaining. You're not going to have to worry about complaining. What you're going to have to do now is go back to school if you can, and if you can afford to do so, and you're going to have to actually gain a skill, because that's what's going to be acquired in the future in order to obtain a lot of these jobs. You're going to actually need a knowledge base and a skill. You're going to actually have to have a realistic degree that matches up with what it is that you're trying to do. But like I said before, I'm just going to stay in the background when it comes to a lot of information, and I'm going to wait and see and let everybody else catch up. Because like I keep telling people, y'all don't want to pay attention up until it's the end of the road and you can see that cliff coming. By that time, it's over. It is over. You might as well start playing the violins like the three guys on the Titanic. It was an honor being right here with you. Let's play into the end. That's going to be y'all. Y'all going to be playing it to the end, and then y'all want to try to figure out something like, yo, where's the lifeboats at? They been gone. They were gone hours ago. But you know, whatever. Keep believing all of that nonsense. Not even God himself can sink this ship. Well, the ship is sinking. God has spoken, and y'all drowning. Good luck.